All right, let's talk about the spring roll. You've had them a million times, right? But what if I told you this humble snack has a secret history that's way more interesting than you think? Seriously, forget the takeout menu for a second, because this story doesn't start in a kitchen. It actually starts with an ancient health ritual.
I mean, think about it. Every single time you pick up a spring roll, you're literally holding a little piece of history. But the journey it took to get to your plate is, well, it's pretty wild. So how on earth did this super familiar snack
end up evolving from what was basically an ancient detox meal packed with super pungent, sharp-tasting herbs? Yeah, you heard that right. Let's unroll this amazing story. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to go way, way back to a time before the roll part of the spring roll even existed. We're starting with this idea of eating the spring, from a simple ritual platter all the way to a huge trend in the Tang dynasty.
So picture this. It's the Eastern Jin dynasty. And to welcome spring, people ate something called the Five Pungent Platter. And it was exactly what it sounds like, a plate of really strong, pungent veggies like garlic and onions. The whole point was to kind of cleanse your system, chase away winter sickness, and just embrace the energy of the new season. You know, like a super old-school detox. But then, fast forward to the Tang Dynasty, and someone has this game-changing idea. Hey, what if we wrapped all these herbs up in a really thin pancake? And boom, the spring pancake was born. That right there, that's the granddaddy of every spring roll you've ever eaten.
And get this, they had this absolutely beautiful name for eating it, Yao Chuan, which literally means biting the spring. How cool is that? It wasn't just about having a snack, it was this really powerful, symbolic act. With every single bite, you were, in a way, eating the freshness and the life of the brand new season. All of it just wrapped up in one perfect little package.
So the spring pancake was already a huge hit, but what really shot it into the stratosphere? What made it a true superstar? Well, it all comes down to a festival with one very, very strange rule. A rule that changed everything.
So what was it? What was the secret sauce that took this simple wrap from just a seasonal trend to a full-blown festival icon?
Believe it or not, the answer is so simple, but it completely changed the game. It was a holiday with one absolute non-negotiable rule. You could not use fire. Okay, so this was called the Cold Food Festival. And yeah, the main rule was no lighting fires for cooking at all. That meant every single meal had to be made ahead of time and eaten cold. Now, you can imagine the problem, right? What do you eat? Well, the spring roll was the perfect answer. The fillings were already cooked. You could make a ton of them in advance. It was the ultimate convenient meal. It literally became known as the cold food savior. And you know what's wild? This tradition is so powerful that it's still alive today. If you go to Taiwan or Fujian during the Qingming Festival, you'll see everyone eating these fresh spring rolls, which they call runbang. It's a direct, unbroken line all the way back to that ancient fireless holiday. Amazing, right? But hold on. The story doesn't stop there. Because after this, the spring rolls family tree had a major split. A great divide, you could say. This is where we get the two versions we know today. Crispy versus fresh. So after the Yuan dynasty, the spring roll basically developed two totally different personalities. On one side, you have the crispy path. This is the one that embraced the deep fryer, going for that golden, crunchy, super flavorful experience you get with dim sum. Then you have the fresh path, which was all about staying true to the original. It kept that soft, uncooked wrapper to really let the fresh, natural taste of the filling shine through.
And that fresh style? Man, it went on its own world tour. In Taiwan and Fujian, it's that beloved runbang we talked about, with a super delicate paper-thin skin. But then, as the idea traveled, it adapted. Just look at Vietnam. It evolved into the iconic summer roll we all know and love, with that beautiful transparent rice paper wrapper showing off the shrimp and fresh herbs inside. It just goes to show you how incredibly versatile this one idea could be.
So let's bring it all back to today. After this incredible, centuries-long journey, what does it all mean? What are we really eating when we take a bite of a spring roll?
I mean, just think about the journey we've been on. It started as a pungent detox platter, then it became a symbolic bite of spring. It was the hero of a festival where you couldn't even cook. And now it's a global snack with two completely different, totally delicious personalities. The spring roll has really been through it all.
So no, this is not just some simple appetizer. It's so much more than that. It's a food that has literally, and I mean literally, rolled through time, picking up new cultures and flavors with every single turn.
So the next time you're ordering, think about this story. The choice you're making isn't just about what you're in the mood for. Are you going to go for the crispy innovator, the one that's all about that golden fried flavor?
Or are you choosing the fresh classic, the one that carries on thousands of years of tradition? Whichever you pick, one thing's for sure. You're taking a bite of history.